What is up, everybody? Oh man, I see Gary Vee just posted something. I need to go check that out. Hope everyone's having a good day. Get the shot right. It's that time again, that time of the week again. Oh man, it has been a week. It has been a week. I don't know if last week was worse, or it definitely was more eventful. It's kind of like one of those things. It's kind of this thing I'm noticing. Like life seems to have a way of balancing itself out. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't. It doesn't seem like we have um, like a month, a solid month. Within a month, I'll normally have like one down week, and that's been this week. And that's good. It's a time if you can let yourself relax. You know, I'm really just kind of starting to understand that you gotta go with the flow. You can't fight it. You know what I mean? Like, so for the last 2 months, I've been super busy with I always forget which side it is. I've been super busy with wedding work, and that's been great because it means a lot of money. Blah 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 blah. But wedding season's drying up. We're transitioning into the holidays. Commercial work is drying up, transitioning into the holidays. If you haven't got that Christmas spot by now, you're probably not going to get it. We're in a weird place where it's kind of still NFL, but they're starting to go into NBA. I feel like they want to get into the NBA advertising more sooner, which is usually good for me because they come for hip hop beats, tracks, people who know how to like take hip hop concepts and ideas and put them into commercials in a more theatrical way. But I say all that to say this. This week has been extremely slow. Um, I had the best week. I had the best week ever on all my social accounts last week, which in turn is still applying or still affecting this week. But it's really tricky, man. It's really tricky. Like I'm in the process of growing a business, starting a business, growing a business. Um, I'm doing I started a social media business company. And it's kind of weird because like my deal is I don't want to be an advertising agency. I don't want to help people uh, sell their crap. I'm down to though, but that's not what I want. What I want to do is help dope people find a space where they can be dope and make money from that. So what do I mean? Do I mean I just want people to be able to sit at their house and do whatever and then get paid? No, I don't mean that. But I have friends, lots of friends who do music, amazing music, and it's not getting the exposure. And with the decline of record companies, even PR now is kind of a little bit like they don't really know what's good because magazine drops, radio, that's nothing anymore. You know what I mean? Like you got to be getting on the podcast. Um, you got to be getting into playlist. Uh, you know, blogs, vloggers. There's just like when I first started getting into advertising, there was a term called micro syncs, and I think it's something like that. And it's that new space. Content is shifted to the phones, to social media, to YouTube, but the way we conceptualize music in those spaces is not quite right. It's cool, but it's like, hey, I'm coming up, so blah blah blah. So let me pay you less or let me not pay you at all, and that's kind of unacceptable. Now, if you want to go out and give your content to somebody who you believe will give you a good investment, ROI, you'll get a good investment on your, you'll get a good return on your investment, then that's fine. But that's a calculated decision, and it should always be up to the artist. Like, I send my music out to some influencers because I believe that they have a platform big enough to where it can help me. But the idea that people are using money, there's websites giving money or music away for free. I don't know. That's frustrating. So anyway, it's been a tough week. It's been a good week. It's been a good week, but it's been a tough week because the short term has been kicking my butt. That's like, you know, and I'm so like happy that I'm doing this, and I'm doing it as I'm going before I made it, because I think a lot of people might have good ideas and have successful ideas, but they just, like for me, I don't have any capital. I'm starting this all by myself with zero capital, zero investors, zero savings. I'm just starting from scratch, but I know the idea is solid, and the long term is building beautifully, and I'm very happy with the long term build. The short term is the tricky part. You know, because you have bills that are due, stuff falls apart, things happen. You can't just sit here and wait, you know, like, even though it's going to take however long it's going to take. So, you know, it's kind of a battle to stay in the game, if you will. That's really the battle. Because if you can just stay in the game, more than likely, you're going to get there. You're going to make it. You're going to, you know, I mean, like, I'm really seeing that with my top page on my social. It's just really taken off. And it's exciting, and it's tempting to try to rush to monetize it, but it's not there yet. I know it's not there, and if some money opportunities come, that's great. But if I try to force the financial, it's not offering the value yet. You know what I mean? Like, there is a value, and that's why it's growing. I know what the people want. I'm giving them what they want, and more each day, I'm getting more followers. Now, the value that I could give to people will be exposure. Exposure, promotion, just exposure and promotion to their stuff, to their material, to their page. I can also do reviews, all this stuff. But where my numbers are right now, I can't justify reaching out for a cost. And like I said, again, if someone wants to come to me and ask me, then I can say, sure, I can do that. But to be trying to push it to sell to people, it's not there. It's close. It's close. It's possibly by the end of next month, we'll be at the numbers where I feel like I can justify the cost. I don't want to just charge people. I don't want to just think financially, because I feel like that's how you screw up a brand. I think that was what happened with MySpace. That's why they messed up. I don't know what happened with Snapchat. They were killing it and they just lost. I think Instagram, they picked the wrong person to go to war with in Instagram. So it's a constant battle between short term and long term. And you don't want to compromise. Like, I'm fully confident that I can sell my top social page by early next year for a 5 figures fee, which, you know, for me would be dope, would be great. But I strongly believe that, because it's part of a bigger company, that if I hold on to these in the next 4 years, I can turn that into $1 million company. Now, that's extremely hard, And I understand, the thought that like most people won't ever have $1 million company, but most people don't have my idea, you know, and my idea is something that works on any platform. Uh, and so like, you know, right now, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, those are the top, but they won't always be the top. And I know it's hard for people to think about or imagine, but they won't always be the top. And when they're not, this idea, I don't want to say too much about it, will continue to be successful. So anyway, that's kind of been my vibe, what I've been dealing with over the last week. Thankfully, there's been no violence. As expected, Trump has not shown leadership. President Trump has not shown leadership again. He's really fixated on voting. Guys and girls, we have got to vote. These midterms are so important. They're so important. There is a black African American running for governor in Florida, which is where I'm from. And the thought of him being the governor is just like, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but man, that's just what it would mean to people, black and brown people in Florida, because he will have the power to say to the attorneys, hey, stop prosecuting black people for crimes that a white person doesn't, they just say, they just throw it out. Stop targeting African American communities. Stop, if a police officer shoots an African American in the back, or shoots them down, or guns them down, they're gonna have to be held accountable, because that all comes from the top. We have some people in good positions, but if they're getting heat, they're catching smoke from their top. Senate is the Senate. I did my part. I held my senator accountable. Well, my senator is leaving. No. My senator is not leaving. He's being contested. So I supported my senator. But we've got to hold the people accountable. Anybody who did something that you don't feel represents you, because that's what they are. They're our representatives. If you feel that they didn't represent you, you got to get out there. You can't depend on the person. You can't say, well, you know what, everyone gets it. They're going to do it. You have to do it. I had to go out of my way to get an absentee ballot this year. We've got to do what we got to do, you know. There's too much talking in our country and not enough doing. And yet there's no discussion. You know, there's too much talking, not enough doing, and no discussion, and zero discussion. I'm going to say that one more time. There's too much talking, no doing, and zero discussion. That can't be the vibe. That can't be what our country is built on. Talk, rhetoric, zero actions, no discussion. Well, what's the difference between talk and discussion? Well, I can talk to you right now. We're not discussing. I'm telling you what I think. You're listening. A discussion is when I speak, then I listen. And America has forgotten how to listen. And it's hard. It's hard, especially if you're passionate about something. It's hard to say, maybe what I'm thinking is not 100% right. And that's the only way you can really have the discussion. Because if you think what you're thinking is 100% right, you're not gonna be open. You're not gonna listen to what people are saying. Now, and then that being said, you have to have some foundational concepts, some principles, some things that you're building your life on. But at the end of the day, especially with respects to our country, we have to be more open. We have to have discussions. We you know, one thing that I get on my girlfriend for, she calls President Trump a monster. And I say he's not a monster. He's a human. He's behaving terribly and he's doing his best job to act like a monster, but he's still a human. He's a father, he's a husband, and he is someone's brother. You know, he could be all those things bad. He could be a bad father, a bad husband, a bad brother, bad friend, or whatever. But he's still those things. He's still a human. He's still a part of the human race. And as long as we keep referring to people as them or the others or those people over there and we're assigning the blame to them, there'll be no discussion. And without discussion, our country will not be able to fix any problems. We won't be able to make America great again, which is the most ridiculous slogan ever. Make America great again. How can you have it both ways? This is the greatest country in the world. This is the greatest country in the world, but then you want to make it great again. You know what I mean? Like we're at a point now. It wasn't even this year, maybe last year. This year, my revelation was, it's not my job to make you feel good about being shitty. If you're a shitty person, I'm going to let you know that you're a shitty person. And I'm going to make sure that you feel bad about it, because you should feel bad about it. You know, if you're a racist person, I'm going to let you know you're racist. And I'm not going to try to make you feel good about it, because you shouldn't feel good about it. Last year, I realized people know what they're doing. We used to always give people the benefit of the doubt. Oh, they're ignorant. They don't know. They don't know. But that's not true. They know. Everyone knows there's a cost. If you're really, really rich, that money came from somewhere. I can't, you know what, man? Like, and I'm not crapping on anybody because I plan on being very wealthy. But if you're Oprah Winfrey and you have like, I don't know how many billions she has. She might just be like, have 1 billion. But if you're someone like, what's his name? Bezos? Jeff Bezos. He could take $5 million this year, put $2 billion into his company to give his company raises. He could put $2 billion into making sure that everyone can eat for free. And then he can put, and I mean, like, when I say everyone, I mean like homeless people or whatever. And then he can put another $1 billion into whatever he chooses. Charity, cancer, sickness, whatever. And he would still have $145 billion. Think about that, man. He can give away $40 billion and have $100 billion left to do whatever he wants. And he couldn't even come close to spending it. There's a cost. That money doesn't just come from nowhere. Well, he's the head of Amazon. Okay, cool. Amazon makes lots of sales. Okay, cool. Does that mean he doesn't know that people are not starving? They're not hungry? Well, I'm sure he gives to charity. Is he giving enough? That's what it really comes down to me, as I perceive the divide between Republicans and Democrats. Is not just about doing just enough. Well, I pay my share. No. I don't mind paying more if it means that somebody can eat, if it means that someone doesn't have to sleep in a car. So if it's a difference between me getting a pair of Jordan shoes or a pair of Walmart shoes, but that money goes to somebody who can eat, I'll take the Walmart shoes. That's my thought process. That's how I feel about it. Not everyone is like that. I don't want to judge, but, and you know, I know once you get to that kind of money, then the fight starts. You got to keep it. You want to keep it. Everyone around you, their lives change. You got the bill all the time. You're picking up the bill all the time. You're sending everyone out. You're flying everyone out. You're the person everyone calls when it's time for, they need some help. They need some assistance. They got a great idea. I get it. We can do more. And I'm putting this on tape right now, because I'm going to be successful and I'm going to be wealthy. And when I am, I want people to come back and look at this and say, he said he was going to do it and he's doing it. Or he said he was going to do it and he didn't do anything. Hold me accountable. Hold anyone accountable. We've got to look after each other. We got to do better. We got to have some empathy. Which is why I think, I had to go through the time that I've gone through. Several times it seemed like my life and career was taking off, and then it just fell out. But I really think it's because I wasn't going the right way. I really feel like I'm on the right path now. I know I'm on the right path now because what I'm doing is awesome. So those are my thoughts for today. I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts. I know that they can be a bit random, but that's the point. Until the next time, I'm probably going to try to keep them on Wednesday. I didn't do that this week, but next week we'll be back on Wednesday. I might do a special one on the weekend. We'll see. Who knows? All right. Until next time. Peace.